Bonjour, comment allez-vous? That means good morning, how are you in French? So good morning everyone, how's it everyone doing? Today we're going to talk about the Quebec Skilled Worker Program, and let's start this video with a good news. So Quebec invests $20 million annually to help bring in more immigrants to the province, and because of that they launched a new system called the arrima system to help facilitate the immigration selection process. As planned, Quebec is looking to bring in 52,000 immigrants by the year 2022, so there's lots of opportunities for people to immigrate to the province of Quebec. Now let me tell you how you can apply for permanent residence under this program. My name is Zid, and let's get started. Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys 6 very simple steps on how to apply for permanent residence under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. But before that, let me show you some important facts about this program. First, Quebec Skilled Worker Program is not express entry. They are two different systems, but there are similarities. Before we move on guys, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate all of the support. Alright, so with express entry, we need to create an expression of interest and then receive a letter of invitation before we can apply for permanent residence. Similarly guys, with Quebec Skilled Worker Program, we need to create an expression of interest and then wait to receive for our letter of invitation before we can apply for permanent residence. Now let's talk about some differences. So unlike express entry, with Quebec Skilled Worker Program, you don't need to provide an ECA report. So no need to have your credentials assessed by WES, but you need your educational credentials once you reach step 6, which I will be discussing in the next few minutes. How about proof of funds? Well, good news because it's pretty low compared to express entry. So with one adult, it's $3,188. With two adults is $4,676. 2 adults and 1 child is 5,238, and so on and so forth. Finally, one of the best things about this program is that once you land here in Canada, you will be greeted at the airport and assisted by an officer to create your individualized action plan. You guys might be wondering what an individualized action plan is. Well, similar to the AIPP or the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, once you land here in Canada, someone is going to assist you and guide you with your settlement through a settlement plan, which is the same as the individualized action plan. Alright, so now let's move on to the 6 simple steps on how you can immigrate to the province of Quebec through the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. Step 1 is to obtain your IELTS report and TEF report only if you have one. So I repeat guys, IELTS is mandatory but TEF is optional. So if you guys don't know what TEF is, it's actually a French assessment exam similar to IELTS, which is an English assessment exam. Alright guys, so I just want to make a quick demo on how you can get an IELTS report. So on this page right here, go to ielts.britishcouncil.org, scroll further down and click your country, let's say Philippines, and then click on continue. And then on the left hand side guys, click on the register link, scroll further down and select no and click next. And then change the test module from academic to general, and then select a test date from the list and click on register online button. Step 2 is to create and submit an expression of interest through the Arrima portal. So here are some points to remember when creating your account with this portal. So creating an account with this portal is free of charge. You are only allowed 90 minutes for one session, so make sure that you guys save your work every time you make some changes. Your expression of interest profile is only valid for 1 year, so if you don't get any invitation within that year, then you can create a new EOI profile again. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys how to create an account with the Arrima portal so that you guys can create your expression of interest. So what you want to do is to go to this link right here, which you can also find in the description box below, and then click on the Access Arrima button right here. and then it will take you into this page. So if you guys don't understand French, what you want to do is click on the translate button right here so that it will translate this whole page into English. So go ahead and click on the translate button. Now the page has been translated into English. Now on the left hand side, you will see two buttons right here. Since you are completing a declaration of interest, then go ahead and click on this button. Again, as you can see, the page has been translated back to French. So simply click on the translate button right here to translate it to English. Once translated, scroll further down and click on the create an account button. Once you're logged in, select from the two options right here based on your profile. So if you guys are applying by yourself and no one else is representing you, then select the first option, which is I'm a person interested in immigrating to Quebec. Scroll further down and tick on the two checkboxes right here and click on next. And then complete your profile by filling out all of the information required. Step 3 is to receive an invitation to apply for CSQ, which is Certificate de Sélection de Québec. Step 4 is to apply for CSQ, which is a paper-based application. So remember guys that you only have 60 days to submit your application for CSQ. Alright, so once you received an invitation to apply for CSQ, the next step is to apply for permanent selection. So the goal here guys is for you to receive a certificate, because that certificate is actually required for you to apply for permanent residence. So this certificate guys is comparable to a letter of recommendation for the Rural and Northern Immigration Program, or a letter of endorsement for the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, because these letters are required for you as well in order for you to apply for permanent residence. Now listen carefully guys, because these are the steps that you need to take under this stage. So remember guys that you have an account with the Arrima portal, right? So in this account, once you're invited, you will receive a confidential information in order for you to access your permanent selection application form. So all you need to do is to print out this form, gather the required documents, which I will discuss later, pay the required fees. For principal applicant, it's gonna be $798, and then submit the form and the documents into this address. So since it's a paper-based application, you need to mail it into this address. So let me repeat that once again guys. So basically print the application form, gather the required documents, pay the fees, and then finally submit to this address. Alright, now let's take a look at the documents that you need to submit in support of your application for a Certificate de Sélection de Québec, which is the permanent selection. So let's scroll further down, and the first document that you need to submit is the A0520AA form, and then the A052208 form. Some sections guys might not apply to you, so take a look at them, because those sections you might not need to provide the documents. Let's take a look at further. So you need to submit your pages of your valid passport, your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, and then at least 2 items below, such as your mortgage, statements of bank accounts and utility bills, and so on and so forth. So if you want to look at the documents guys, you can actually go to this link right here, which you can also find in the description box below. Alright, so you might be asking, what are the factors that will affect your application for permanent selection, whether you guys will get a certificate or not? And one of the factors that they are looking at is your selection grid points. So today I'm going to discuss with you guys how to compute for selection grid points. So there are several factors, and the first one is your level of education. So depending on your education credential, you will get points from it. And then the next one will be your area of training, and then of course your experience. Depending on your number of years of experience, you will get points out of it. Depending on how old are you, you will get points based on your age. And then your language proficiency, So a while ago, guys, in this video, I've talked about the TEF, which is a French assessment exam. So if you took that exam, you will get points out of French assessment. If not, you have your IELTS report, you will get points based on your IELTS score. If you are staying in Quebec or you have a family in Quebec, you will get points accordingly. If you are applying with a spouse, then you will get points from your spouse depending on his or her education credential, her area of training, her age, and the language proficiency. And then if you have a valid job offer, then you get 14 points from it. So this is the points that you need to get, guys. So if you are applying by yourself, then you must score at least 50. If you are applying with a spouse, then you must score at least 59 points. Step 5 is to receive a CSQ, which is the certificate itself. So this certificate, guys, is required in order for you to proceed to step 6. And finally, step 6 is to apply for permanent residence. So once you guys receive your CSQ, you can then proceed to applying for permanent residence under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program. Alright, so once you guys get your certificate or the CSQ, the next step, of course, is to apply for permanent residence under the Quebec Skilled Worker class. Now, to do that, there are only 4 simple steps that you need to follow. The first one, of course, is to gather the documents, provide the documents from this checklist. So here they are. If you want to check this, guys, go to this link in here, which you can also find in the description box below. And then let's take a look at the second step, which is to complete the application. Of course, fill out all of the required application forms. And then let's take a look at the third step, which is to pay the fees. So your application fee will be $1,040, which includes the processing fee and the RPRF. And then let's take a look at the step 4, which is the final step, is to mail the application. So guys, since this is a paper-based application, then you need to mail your application package into this address, which is Citizenship and Immigration Canada, Quebec Selected Skilled Worker Program, Centralized Intake Office, PO Box 8888, Sydney, Nova Scotia, B1P 0C9, Canada. Alright, so that's about it, guys. As you can see, applying for permanent residence under the Quebec Skilled Worker Program is actually simple and straightforward if you just follow the steps that I provided. So guys, I haven't been to Montreal myself as of this time. So if you guys make it to Quebec, please let me know, because I also want to travel to Montreal, and who knows, we might meet each other over there. So thank you guys for watching, and I wish you all the best in your application. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write down in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't watched my previous videos about express entry, you can try going through these videos right here, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Good luck.